Looks like we are live. Just trying to get Instagram working. Go live. And there we go. Perfect. Should be on Instagram as well. Sweet. Now we're just waiting for our boy Manny. You know, he loves being fashionably late. So while we wait for him, any questions? And also on the channel just an hour ago, a new video just premiered. It's about one of the most infamous Mickey Mouse clones, Milton Mouse, and so I cover all of them. Take a look at each one by one. Nothing too in depth like my regular reviews, but still, it's something. There's some interesting stuff in there, and shout out to my good friend Blue Genocide. He did the editing for me on that one, and you know, it seems like that was a topic that he actually suggested I do, and well, that's the end result. So I hope you guys give that one a go because I'm definitely proud of that. Okay, let's have a look. Hopefully you guys on Instagram can see me as well. That's good. All right. Wow, actually everything's going relatively smoothly except for Manny himself. And it was his birthday yesterday, by the way. So, you know, make sure when he does pop up, you guys say happy birthday to him. I actually did something a little bit funny. Nearly dropped my mic. I actually did something funny for him, which I'll show. And, we'll have some fun with that. So let's look at some of these comments here. Going to be talking about tying onions to belt. Well, we always talk about tying onions to belts. What are you talking about? Of course we always do. And this time we'll try talk about a different kind of knot. Good evening. And funnily enough, it's still morning here. It's 10 a.m. Oh, let's put him on. It's just one big M.
You hear me?
I can hear you. I can't see you. It's just a like an M heartbeat.
I am master of all, or master of music. See, I'm going with a gimmick here.
That's right.
You
just don't want me to say his face.
His face. I'm actually trying to get this thing is fickle. I'm trying to get the camera from the not the iPad, the iPhone.
Which is literally what I'm doing now, by the way. I'm using my own phone as the webcam.
And that's why he looks so gorgeous in HD.
HD, mate. See, I could have actually up the quality to 4K, but as soon as I do that, you know, all the socials will end up shutting down and be like, nah, we're done. Sorry. If this guy's broadcasting 4K, we're done. There he is.
But it's not his face. Ooh. It's like, not the camera I want. Why is it because I have it directly plugged into the iPhone. Let's see. Yeah, and I have the VPN off. Scooby-Dee-BB-DB-DB. I mean, everybody's here clearly from my handsome face.
That's right.
Let me unplug it and try another outlet. Let's see. Charging. Okay, that's a good sign.
I should have that stand-in of that dog, you know, who's pulled the plug out. You know, the whole technical difficulties from The Simpsons. That one's probably my favorite. Just this innocent little puppy. Just, you know, good thing the puppy didn't get electrocuted. That was my first thought.
The little production music.
Yeah.
Alf Clausen, may he rest in peace with all
Indeed,
that amazing production music he did.
if you really want to know Alf Clausen's more amazing work, just watch the show Moonlighting. He does amazing work on that show, um, and they cross so many genres. It's like it's a trip. Like Moonlighting is a great show. I finally watched them all, and it's definitely worthwhile. Just gonna look at some of these comments here, because Manny, like a good friend Camden. So if you see Comic Spees in the comments, guys, that's Camden, one of my collaborators. An all-round swell guy. He goes, when we talk about tying onions to belts, I mean, isn't this what this show's all about? Isn't this literally it?
Which was the style at the time, Camden, apparently.
That's right. Yeah, we've got some nice good evening, and I already mentioned before you jumped on that it's actually good morning here, 6 past 10 a.m. Haven, the Southern Heart fangirl. I watched your Looney Tunes video. Words. See, I'm going to use your thing. Words, Anthony. Words. I watched your Looney Tunes videos, and they are so awesome. Well, I appreciate that. The best or worst, because the Patty Freeling is yet to come. I don't know. Anyway,
definitely the worst.
Speaking of which, for those who don't know, I've recorded a video about the DePatty Freeling era to answer any questions people might have. So that's going to be edited, and that will come out soon. So, but in the meantime, watch that new video that's just launched on the channel. Where it's about Milton Mouse, and that's one of the most notorious knockoff. I mean, at least with Warner Brothers, like with the harmonizing studio anyway, they did Foxy and then Piggy. They're blatant too, but they're nowhere near as blatant as Milton. Nowhere near. It's close. You know Milton Mouse, right? That's like Ricky Rouse and Monald Buck.
Well, or of course, Milton Mouse is good friends with Dinner Dog.
Dinner Dog. So here's one question. I've always wanted to know, how did you find and get connected to Manny and the other contributors to the channel? And then you just lift up 2 bags of money just to...
Oh, my laundry. It is done.
Yes. Honestly, all of this is one big happy accident. When I started this YouTube journey, I was just solo. I never really planned. Like, I like to go with the flow with things, I like to... And it just sort of evolved into having all these people coming along for the ride. Obviously yourself, Manny, and Matt Hunter. So so it's nice to know a bona fide Texan. That's really awesome. But we got Camden. He's in Alabama, and just amazing. And hey, I love it. Of course, Blue Genocide is a Canadian, eh?
It's all this about.
Watching hockey and eating maple bacon, eh? And Tim Hortons. I don't know. It's awful, I know. But, and I know that Camden will rip me on the really poor Canadian accent right there. Fair enough. Let's see. Well, especially as you live in Australia, see, that's the thing. The time zone differences, I typically have to do these things in the morning. And I wake up in the morning, so I don't sleep in that much. My sleep in is like 7:30 these days. Let's see. I'll be honest, I sort of miss your old thumbnails and titles for the reviews. Yeah, with that, I had to change them because too many people are getting the wrong ideas of the videos. You got the 2 problems here, okay? These hands. 2 problems. Yep. 1. You got people looking for the cartoons that will not be on YouTube unless someone sneaks them in, but then they'll get banned anyway. They'll see my video, get the wrong idea, then get pissed off. All right? And that's, I don't want to mislead people, okay? But unfortunately, people are getting the wrong idea because some people also don't know how to read. And the other thing as well, on the flip side, is you got people who might be genuinely interested in the reviews. They're not interested in necessarily watching the cartoon on YouTube. They might be going, oh, I actually want to learn more about this, but they're not getting the right idea. So it's actually 2 reasons. But I'm actually happy with the new thumbnails. I really am. I have to sort of alter them here and there. So, yeah.
And
that Manny guy is really cool. I wonder who that guy is.
Oh, it's a guy I paid to say that. Coincidentally, we have the same last name, but I don't know who that is. But hi to my big brother Carlos.
There we are. Cruz is a very unique surname. No one else in America has that, right?
No, none at all.
I thought you were the only one. No,
No relation to
no.
Tom either.
What do I think about all the Looney Tunes Platinum collections put together on DVD? Hey, the more the merrier. I may be a bit of a snob and say, hey, Blu-ray's better or whatever. But honestly, if DVD's your thing, buy the DVD, enjoy the DVD. I really don't like these snobs that are like, oh, why are people still watching DVDs? That kind of. Yeah, that's the thumbnail, by the way. We don't do that. It's like, who cares, man? Let people enjoy what they want. For goodness sake. Is this the Gabbo show? Why, yes, it is. Ah, it's me, Gabbo. Actually, it sounds a bit like Pee Wee Herman when do
Yeah,
that.
you sounded more like Pee Wee there. The
There we go.
Gabbo.
Let's see. Morning. I just wanted to say that you, Manny, the other who help, are doing a wonderful job. Much appreciated. As a Canadian, that was beautiful. Oh, well. No, I guess I'm an honorary Canadian, eh? Yeah, they don't understand copyright. Yeah, they don't. And I even did a video. And they can actually that actually literally proves you can't upload these unless you do something very shifty. I actually try to upload up WhatsApp or doc in real time, and it shows bang, it gets blocked just about straight away. But there is that. How can they be misled? How many cartoons for Warner's are 23 minutes long? See, you'd think people would know that. You'd think people would, anyway, whatever.
I
They'll
was
take
going to
care of
say
the little
Camden.
SOB.
I'm a bad widow boy. I was going to say Camden. You and I live in the United States. We know the full depths of how stupid people can be in this country. So, Brockman in trouble.
Yeah. All right. Now that we caught up with the comments
and the Simpsons references.
Oh no! We never caught up with those.
Yeah.
We never ever caught up with those. Now I'm gonna just have a look about adding a certain something because it's a certain someone's upload video. Let's have a look.
I'm still trying to figure out why this camera is not allowing me to switch over to the
is it the camera or is it your face?
Both. Mainly my face.
Sorry, I had to do that. Let's open this up.
Maybe I'll try a different cable, see if that'll do the trick. Because this
cable or
cable?
Bishop? It's my X-Men reference.
What? By the way, real quick, I haven't seen it, but I've heard nothing but good things about X-Men '97. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't had a chance. I really have not had a chance. And yes, guys, we will talk about early Porky, but I just had to get something completely out of the way first. I'm just wondering is this going to work? Is this going to work?
It's going to work.
Okay, here we go. All right.
Oh, wow.
All right,
Warner
Manny.
Communication, that's going back a bit.
Yep. Actually grew up with this, like on some of the VHSs I had. This was actually the start of it because Bugs' 50th birthday was 1990, so this stems from 1990. But you'll see what it's going to be. Right, ready? All right, here we go.
Okay, fellas, take it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Oh no,
the Emmanuel Cruz.
Why did I do that?
Uni tenor.
Happy birthday to you.
And now,
there you go.
I was gonna say Elmer's nose being like. I was like, that's how I. So for a little context, Anthony's like, yeah, just send me a clip of yourself speaking very monotonely, and I'm like, okay, sure. I sent it, and of course, say, let me look as ridiculous as possible. A, thank you, and B, how dare you?
Indeed.
I've actually never seen. Well, that's from what VHS is that from?
I had the Roadrunner. It was like 7 or 8 Roadrunner shorts all in a row kind of thing. It was on a VHS tape, and it was an official one. Because I know we always talk about the public domain stuff. Shout out to one of our previous streams. But Manny, shouldn't you have a better setup with all the money Anthony pays us? I pay with love.
Money? Hey, what's that?
Money, I have 3 kids and no money. Well, 2 kids, one's hidden away somewhere. Let's have
I got 0 kids and 0 money.
Wow, but lots of toys, lots of stuff. Yes. Did you get anything for your birthday? Come on.
Headaches. No. I had dinner yesterday with. I had a nice dinner with my mom and a friend of mine. And anything else? I mean, I'm when it comes to gifts, I'm the kind of guy that's just like, you know, I guess if you want to give me a gift, pay my bills. But usually if I want something, I'll get it myself. But just honestly, I'm that kind of guy. I know it sounds corny and cliche, but it's just like well wishes and good thoughts. That's to me, that's what counts the most. And my bills paid. But
Bills, bills,
the bills.
Bill. Who's Bill?
Hello, Bill.
But I'm. Oh yeah, happy birthday. Go to hell, you old bastard. Yeah.
Gee, I think they like us. I my
If the
both.
Rolling Stones killed, but so
I
they
got
aren't.
that. Do as I say.
Do as
My
I say.
brother and my an old coworker of mine, he's another big Simpsons fan. They both sent me that, so we all know that Manny works for Anthony. Yes, I'm actually the mastermind of this channel. I'm the Palpatine to his Vader. So
Ooh, Star Wars reference. Or you're the Krang to the bodysuit.
Uh,
You
well,
know
I mean, if you
what
go,
is that big body thing that's called a Krang is in? He's in the middle of the belly.
it's just literally the android body because, I
There's no
mean,
name to
well,
it.
not just literally the android body because Krang was based off of the race of aliens called the Utroms in the comics, and the Utroms were the ones that created the ooze, and they were peaceful aliens. And then when they made the original show, they're like, instead of a race, let's just pick one, make him evil. And yeah, the android body is just the robotic
Evil.
body. Evil. I mean, if you go from seasons 2 and beyond, Krang is pretty much telling Shredder what to do. So Krang is like Palpatine, and Shredder is Vader. But now, everybody considers the Shredder the main Turtles villain. I mean, he's the first in the franchise. He was in the first comic book, but yeah. So I guess I look like Krang. I'm pink and squishy.
You can squishy, whizzle wazzle. Is that past
Woozle
for
wazzle.
entertainment? Is that past for entertainment these days? Oh man. So who's that person?
Who's that
Who?
Pokemon?
Who, this guy?
Who? This guy? Well,
Or,
this
or
guy.
this? This?
We're gonna talk
Okay,
about
okay.
this
If
guy.
it's vertical, it's down. If it's
Oh,
because they finally updated this restream program to have to sort of do both. Where if you're on a mobile device, it'll show vertically, like on Instagram, for example, and everywhere else, it's good old landscape. It's beautiful. Evil. Yes, I love that.
evil. Thank
Speaking of
you. I got some
evil,
birthday wishes. Thank you, Random Lad and JCL. Thank you. Thank you. Much appreciated.
hmm,
I am. I was it. How old am I? I'm 3 or 4.
3 or
No, Louis.
4.
I'm 3 or 4.
Check your birth certificate.
I gotta
Birth
check my birth certificate. Yeah, Louis, you was right. I'm 4
You're
plus
4.
34. I'm 38 years old. So
Yes, yes, yeah. So, look, who's that person? If you are referring to Manny, because people subscribe. They might not have seen you on some of the videos. It happens. And just to make sure you aren't a figment of our imagination, I'm going to pinch your nose right now.
ah,
No, he's my main collaborator, co-host for the live streams, but also he does all the music stuff. So you give me a lot of headaches with editing, but all in all, it's improved.
I've gotten better. I used to send this guy close to an hour of music trivia, but then I'm like, A, I'm torturing this poor guy, and B, I'm like, you know what? I mean, for all of us here that are nerds about whatever subjects, I mean, Looney Tunes obviously is my number one, and Anthony, but obviously I have Turtles info, and I said my big thing: Looney Tunes, Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters, the Avatar verse, and my first 8 seasons of The Simpsons mainly, and obviously all my years of experience as a musician. So I just got a ton of crap in my brain, and I don't always get the opportunity to throw it out somewhere. So I tortured, and being very short. Thanks for rubbing it in, big brother.
Sure.
but but I was like, let me pare it down a bit, and I'll just focus mainly on like the title track and maybe some other cool stuff. And I know Anthony said it a million times, and others have said it. I do want to do my own stuff on my channel. So in the meantime, please subscribe, and hopefully, or if you guys have any ideas, you can always send me an email, leave me a comment on my social medias. about maybe there's something, because I have my own ideas, but maybe there are particular things that you want me to talk about. If it's music related, or if it's something related to, I guess, how do I guess pop culture stuff, but mainly the stuff that I'm into. And there's other things like I am a fan of professional wrestling as well, and I've recently really gotten back into Pokemon. So happy 30 years of Pokemon. I've been playing the games again, and in case you're curious, Bulbasaur, it's been my favorite since day one. So
Yeah, I'm too scared to get back into Pokemon. I stopped around the Black and White generation, and right now they got like 1,000 of them. Like, nah. If I
hmm
was to ever replay them, I just do the story, get my favorites, get the legendaries, but that's it. I don't really feel the need to collect. I don't want to catch them all. The subliminal messaging of the '90s has worn off. I don't need to catch them all. They said you have to. They said you got to catch them all, but that doesn't mean you have to. I've learned that. When you turn 40, you realize things. That you don't have to catch them all. You know.
Oh, so because I do like I actually, so I played the games. I mean, I started playing Pokemon when I was 11, and like I said, I'm 38 now. I didn't play the. I started playing up until the seventh generation, which is Sun and Moon, but I barely played it. But now I'm starting the game again. I bought the games for the recent generations because I want to catch them all,
You
but the
do.
newer games don't allow you to do it. But there's an app now called Pokemon Home that allows you to import all your Pokemon in. So for me, that scratches my itch of completing the Pokedex, because in one of the older games I did complete it in Generation 6, and there's 1,000. And according to my Pokedex, I have 722. So for me, it's like I just need 300 more.
Well,
And
there you
yes,
go.
thank you. I agree. Nerd. I'm clearly not a jock. I am a nerd, unlike Homer.
It's like, Manny, where's your Manny music time segment? I need to edit this video. I'll be there soon. And just trying to
Yeah,
catch her.
me literally before. Well, I actually didn't even get to finish my. I made a shake for dinner and I didn't even finish it yet. I was like, oh crap, I gotta run upstairs. But I was playing a little bit earlier Pokemon Arceus. It's really like I'm not a Zelda fan, but a lot of people say like that game is like Breath of the Wild but Pokemon style, and I'm enjoying it so far. But I've never got into Zelda. I know that's sacrilegious, and I know Zelda turns 40 this year, but and wrestling died in 2001 according to Cruiser Law. At WrestleMania 17 when Austin beat The Rock for the championship.
We have some subliminal messaging in this.
Was it Nivan Ted
Nieva
the
Niet
Nioj?
Niaj.
I haven't seen that episode in, oh my
Join the
goodness,
Navy.
in
It, it-
such a
that,
long
that, that,
time.
that's got one of the best, funniest twists where it's like uh, LT Smash, but it's actually Lieutenant Smash. That's right.
Oh
I'm Lieutenant
yeah.
LT Smash. Yeah, that was good. You can say what you want about the later seasons, but there's good stuff. There is. And that's one of them.
Oh, I forgot about this. Thank you, Camden. I'm 1 year away from your Jack Benny year. So yeah, I'll be 39 next year. So, and I'll be 39 for the rest of my life. And I'll poorly play the violin while I'm at it. Or
That's
Jack
right.
Bunny.
But let's talk
SpongeBob
about.
first few. Sorry, one last thing. SpongeBob first 3 seasons, awesome. Haven't watched after that. Before the movie, pretty much.
I think for some people, the more hardcore fans, they'll just watch the first few seasons of the movie and that's it. Like, that's
Yeah.
for them the complete package. But your boy Porky, because
My
it's funny,
boy
like
Porky.
we set the stream to say about Porky, and yet we're talking about SpongeBob and birthday messages and all that stuff. Very
When are they going to get to the fireworks factory?
exactly. But you're wearing the hat. I did notice your boy
Indeed.
Porky. I was gonna say your boy Porky
My
because
boy Porky. From now on, it's always going to be your boy Porky.
that's right. First of all, before we get into the early, we're just going to look at the first few entries, and we're not even in depth. Just hey, have we seen them? Just have a bit of fun with it. Because of the nature of copyright, I don't know. I might just put up maybe uh, lobby cards or something if I Otherwise, we'll just chat about it because it's kind of fickle. But first of all, why is Porky your favorite character, and which version of Porky was the one you started with? That got you to, I guess, enjoy the character so much.
That's a good question. So, I mean, the cliche answer for a lot of people, your favorite Looney Tune character is Bugs Bunny. Everybody feel Bugs Bunny, and obviously, I love. Bugs Bunny's my second favorite Looney Tune character. Obviously, he's the most famous Looney Tune, all that. But once really getting into the history, so I started really getting into Looney Tune research in 2001. Um, I've said this story before, but pretty much I found out that, I had a vague recollections of watching Bosco on Nickelodeon, and that led me down a rabbit hole, pun intended, and that's what got me into this hobby, buying the books, reading, joining the old Termite Terrace trading post message board. Shout out to Matt Hunter, who I met on there. But when I look back to my early days, because most of the Looney Tunes that I watched growing up were on Nickelodeon, as I've said a million times. Looney Tunes on Nickelodeon, which was on from 1988, the year I was born, until 1999. And coincidentally, the show, Looney Tunes on Nickelodeon started and ended on the same day, September 11th, 88 to September 11th, 99. And unfortunately, 2 years after that. But, that date's going to be burned in infamy. But probably the cartoons, for some reason, whatever it was, the ones that I enjoyed watching the most on Looney Tunes were the Porky Pig shorts. And now as an adult, I know it was mainly the Bob Clampett shorts, um, the some of the Tashlin ones. Like I've said a million times, the Case of the Stuttering Pig is one of my favorite. It's my top 10 favorite Warner Brothers shorts, and I saw that one a lot on Nickelodeon. I recently completed the commentary for Fish Tales, which is a weird freaking short, but I saw
We
that a
did we did that
lot on
one
Nickelodeon.
together. We did that one
Yeah,
together, actually. Yeah, the redos,
and
I couldn't tackle it. I was like, join me, please,
I
Manny. This one's this one's awful.
that one it's a guilty pleasure of mine, but mainly because I saw it as a kid. The Timid Torador is another one I saw often on Nickelodeon. That's Norman McCabe and Clampett, and just as a bunch of other ones. And then I don't really remember seeing the redrawn colorized ones, but I do remember the computer colorizations. And even as a kid, noticing like 1990, 1992, 1995 in the bottom. And as the years have gone on, I mean, yeah, obviously Porky's star unfortunately dimmed early on because he was huge in the late 30s and 40s. And then he got eclipsed by Daffy, he got eclipsed by Bugs and all these other characters. And looking into the history, and especially now as an adult, and like seeing, especially merchandise wise, everything is Taz and Tweety and Sylvester and Bugs and Daffy and whatever. And I get that. But for me, Porky, and I guess it's just my like of certain characters in general, Porky comes across as the underdog, as a straight man, as the mild mannered character. And, I'm thinking of other things. Like my favorite Dragon Ball character is Krillin, the underdog. Sidekicks or like second players or whatever, like Sonic. My favorite character is Tails. My favorite character in Mario is Luigi. The second banana, the whatever, the one, the not the main character. And for some reason, I've always gravitated towards it. And in the case of Porky, he's been he's literally the oldest of the main Looney Tune characters, not including Buddy and Bosco and Beans or whatever. But he doesn't get, I feel, the recognition.
Beans.
Beans and Pork. The best meat's in the rump, and I feel that he doesn't always get the recognition that he deserves. And yeah, some of the shorts, by the late 30s, and it's unfortunate that like Clampett or Tashin hated working with Porky, but like they kind of felt like we really couldn't do much with him. But luckily, guys like Clampett still made some great Porky shorts in the 40s. Kitty Cornered and the Great, actually no, Great Piggy Bank Robbery was a cameo, but like Kitty Cornered is a great one. And fortunately, Clampett and especially Chuck Jones retooled Porky to be the not comedy relief, but the straight man to Daffy's insanity. And I've always said a million times that my personal favorite Looney Tune pairings has always been Porky and Daffy. Like that's my favorite pairing, Porky and Daffy, because ever since I was a kid, I loved watching Porky shorts, but especially Porky and Daffy shorts, the Clampett stuff, the stuff that McKimson did with like um, I forgot the name of like Thumb Fun and Boobs in the Woods, and what make Daffy Duck Slept Here, ones like that. They're such a great comedy team, and maybe this might be a little bit of hyperbole, but like the Porky and Daffy dynamic to me is similar to like Abbott and Costello. It's similar to Laurel and Hardy. That comedic pairing. Like everybody, yeah, now talks about Daffy and Bugs, but that's Daffy when he became more antagonistic, whereas Daffy back, prior to Jones retooling him, he was still like not the antagonist. Well, technically, antagonist means like the opposing force, but like he just was there to bust chops, not just be like the a real jerk. And not saying I don't dislike the Jones shorts or the Jones Daffy. Like obviously, the Hunters trilogy is great, and the other stuff that came out. Showbiz Bugs from Freeling is a phenomenal short, but yeah, you like side. Yeah, my brother just said I kind of like the side characters. I don't always gravitate towards the main character of a particular franchise.
It's yeah. The thing about Porky is in the very beginning they really didn't know what exactly to do. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. What stood out about the character originally in the first short is I haven't got a hat, where it was like in a stable of characters, like in a Our Gang type scenario. We had Ham and X in there, and of course Porky and Beans. Haha. I'm sure there's a gag there somewhere, right? And Miss Kitty and what was the other? Anyway, the thing is, what really stood out about him, let's not kid ourselves, was the stutter. Like audiences would not have seen that sort of thing before. It's unique. It stood out. And of course, in the very beginning, they used a real life stutterer, which caused a lot of problems when recording, when trying to get him to, because he couldn't control his stutter. But I haven't got a hat's just an interesting short. I mean, is it a good short? I don't know.
Well, there's a comment that I just read from Real Random Lad, and I 100% agree with what was said. Porky's not the funniest character, but he's definitely the most. I would say, Random Lad. I would say Porky and Sylvester are the two most versatile Looney Tune characters, and you hit the nail on the head. I guess you nailed it right there. He's extremely charming, and that's what always appealed to me about Porky. He's like the most charming Looney Tune character that doesn't have a particular gimmick, because everybody likes, you can say Taz is charming because of how crazy and destructive he is, or Tweety's extremely charming because of how cute he is. But Porky is just like he's like the most regular guy of the Looney Tune cast, kind of like with again with another thing I love, Ghostbusters. As a kid, my favorite was Egon, the weird scientist brainiac. But as an adult, more and more I gravitated towards Winston because he's the most normal of the four Ghostbusters, and in my opinion, definitely the least appreciated. But fortunately, in the two most recent films, they've given, Ernie Hudson and Winston Zeddemore, the character, more respect in the franchise. Because I'm that kind of guy. If I see merchandise of the Ghostbusters and it's missing Winston, aka or Ernie Hudson, I don't buy it. It's like, to me, the Ghostbusters have always been a quartet. You know.
And I'm going to actually meet him. He's coming down to Melbourne very soon, next month. So,
very nice guy. Very, very nice guy.
But I might actually get him to sign something else. Probably The Crow. He was in that one.
So, or what about Dragon Ball Evolution?
Of course, I'll get him and I'll get a few of the Dragon Ball actors to sign that one, even though they got nothing to do with it. Just and I'll send it to you. It'll be the Sean Connery signed by Roger Moore thing in your collection. I would think, but yeah, Porky in the start. So I haven't got a hat. But the studio hedged their bets on Beans, and we all know how that turned out. Beans is an amazing character, right? I just like how in the Jack King directed shorts, like the Phantom Ship, he got Ham and X, these troublemaking kids, and they sneak on board the plane. They land near this haunted ship, and Beans is always like, he just does this, he just shrugs all the time, like, okay. Like things just happen. It's like it's one of the most lazily directed shorts ever. I mean, as terrible as Fishtails is, at least that one's interesting in a different sort of way. But my goodness,
it's so it's funny because again, I have that. Don't mind me, I'm just adjusting the camera. I have such nostalgia for Fishtails, but you have absolutely no nostalgia for it, and it's like rewatching it as an adult and like having seen all of Jack King Looney Tune shorts, it's like Yeah, this stuff is definitely not appealing. I mean, I have the discs of the Walt Disney Treasures, and I've heard many things about how good Jack King was competent when he worked on Donald Duck, but I haven't seen it. But it's just like I think of his Warner output, and man, especially I always say it, the scene of Porky and the crew eating in Shanghai Chipmates has some of the weirdest animation I've ever seen in my life. It's like definitely it's like uncanny valley-ish. It's like very weird.
Oh yeah. I mean, Jack King. The reason he did so well at Disney is because he actually had they had a great writing and storyboarding team. Because Jack King, as our mutual friend Essie McPeter mentioned to me, he said uh, Jack King tended to be very literal in his directing. Like if it's in a storyboard, he'll just do it. Unlike say Tex Avery, who might tweak the timing to make something funnier, but Jack King was just too literal. And it's kind of weird because when he started off doing the buddy shorts, Jack King's well, look, they're not great, okay? Let's not kid ourselves. But the first shorts at least had these weird and interesting angles. He was actually doing something, but something I felt like something happened where he just did the bare minimum. Just wasn't happy. You could just see it in his work. And then when he went to Disney, they had people in the story team like Carl Barks who would actually go on to do, those Uncle Scrooge stories. Those really good Donald Duck stories when they're going on adventures. So if Jack King had great storyboarders who got the timing right on the storyboard, he was fine. But yeah, he was not an ambitious director at all, and he was quite old actually compared to the other guys. So maybe that's part of it too.
Kind of like Hardaway, because Hardaway was, yeah, he was. I think he was already pushing 40 when he was working at Termite Terrace, and the other guys were like in their early 30s ish, something like that. Some in their 20s.
If he did Buddy's Bearcats, you'd be listening to a different tune. Well, that's Jack King's first short. That's literally his first short. And when you watch it, again, objectively, it's not great. Okay, and the problem is, of course, Buddy. He's just not interesting. But again, I'll tell people again the story. I'll be very brief about it. Why I keep on referring to Buddy's Bearcats in these reviews. It's like an ongoing joke. Okay, when I was doing the original commentaries, I was watching everything in order. Buddy's Bearcats really did feel like a breath of fresh air because of all those weird angles. It actually had some energy to it. Not quite Tex Avery, but he actually did something different. Those really weird, like the ticket guy in the start, he just stretch it, go, hey, he just does stuff like that. There you go. See, Anthony's animation talk in 3D. Whoa, put your glasses on, kid. Whoa, whoa, slow down. But yeah, he ended up doing that, and then the haunted house one he did, and even the prehistoric one, which has what it's probably got the funniest Buddy moment ever. Do you recall that one? Where he goes to the prehistoric island with that dog named Bozo, funnily enough.
I've seen every Buddy short, but the only ones I could literally think off the top of my head is probably Buddy's Day Out, Buddy's Beer Garden, Buddy's Bearcats, and I think there was the other one was that I thought was decent was it Buddy the Detective with like the scary house and whatnot?
Yeah, the detective. Yeah, that's the second one. Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, where it had some interesting stuff. The dun dun dun.
Yeah, he's playing the organ or something like that. That's the only one I really remember.
That was very moody. I mean, it was dumb, but it was very moody at least. At least it was. I'd like to see that one restored. That one would look really good restored. In fact, any of them would. But no, the prehistoric island one, and I know, guys, we're supposed to be talking about Porky. We will get back to him in a sec. But it has the funniest opening where you got these people at the dock, and you got Buddy in the most stupidest handmade expedition boat, clearly handmade. Everything's just patched together. It's him and his dog. There's clearly nothing seaworthy about this thing, and and he says bye bye. Everyone's cheering him on. Hey, you're gonna go on this expedition to this lost island, which I don't know how it's lost if he knows where he's going. But anyway, he just takes off, and because it's still tied to the dock all falls down. Everyone falls into the water, presumably drowning to death. So, I mean, the short's terrible, but that one opening moment was so unintentionally funny. It was awful, but it was so good. But all right, back to Porky.
Wait stuff.
So Porky was after having got a hat. Like, the theater owners responded quite well. Clearly, Buddy had a bigger impact on culture than Porky Pig. Well, clearly, of course.
Clearly.
Clearly.
He was in
Clearly.
what was it, Animaniacs, Buddy. So yeah, clearly he had his moment to shine.
But what they did originally was, because again they wanted Beans the star, which, as someone already pointed out in the comments, he was more like a another Buddy, just looked kind of sort of looked like Mickey and had the same personality as Buddy, and he even had his own catchphrase, which was, this was the "I didn't do it" of the 1930s. He goes, "I'm Beans of the Boston Beans."
Oh
That's
God. I was waiting for either you or I to say that. I'm Beans, one of the Boston Beans.
yeah.
That's gonna bring you very far, Chief.
That's right. That's still in the vernacular today. Even the kids are saying it. The whole sixth and seventh thing, nah, that's passe. Now it's "I'm Beans of the Boston Beans." Clearly,
I'm Beans of the Boston Beans.
I'm Beans of the Boston Beans. But they, we'll say that for the rest of the stream. I'm Beans of the Boston Beans. But Porky, of course, they brought him back. Clearly the theater owners want to see more of him, so they paired him up with Beans, and there was some interesting stuff. But when you watch those Porkies where he was teamed up with Beans, it's really interesting how they did it. So you got Gold Diggers 49, which of course is Tex Avery's first director short for Warner's, and somehow he made Beans kind of interesting, but even there he's really bland. But Porky, well, Avery didn't care for consistency, right? So what did he do in the first appearance? He just turned him into an adult. So grown man Porky, really fat Porky, and he just sounded like a normal guy, like a whoopee. That's
whoopee! I always get a kick up when he does that.
Is that what happens when you go to a pizza shop and the pizza's ready? They give you the boxes and you just hold it and go whoopee.
Oh, you're going to be saying the same thing when you come to the States and eating some great pizza for once.
So everyone, I've set up a GoFundMe. Forget about funding people's healthcare, funeral costs, whatever. No.
Oh, boy.
You got to start funding my New York trip, okay? Because clearly that's
priorities.
That's priorities, right? Clearly.
Yep.
No, I'll eventually come to the US. I really want to see New York. Like that's on my bucket list.
Just wait a little longer, hopefully.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just going to see any other comment on Instagram for a moment. Ooh. Oh, somehow you were trying to come back on. It's like Manny's disappeared. No. Come back, Manny. Come back. There you are. Now I can't hear you. Now we can't hear you. I can't hear you. Let's have a look. What's going on? We had it perfect. Microphone. Hold on. I might be able to see something. Is it Scarlet 212? Try now. No. It ain't working. What have you done? You figured it out? No.
How about now?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
You know what it is? Hey, I switched the as you can see, I'm in high stay now, mate. Yeah, well, okay, now it's
his
blinking.
Face.
So his face. By the way, speaking of his face, Secret of the Ooze, TMNT2 coming to theaters in about a day and a half. So re-release for 35th anniversary. In case you're wondering where that reference is from.
So what is this? What is this? A silent movie? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly. But no, you guys are right here. Tex didn't make Beans funny. He put funny characters around him to compensate for. I know you're supposed to write compensate for his blandness, and that's true. But even then, Beans was still funnier. in that short than anywhere else, and that's saying something. Even though he didn't really do much, he just had to do that tiny little bit, and that was it. But no, Porky was the star of that one. You know, the whole whoopee.
Yeah, I love when he does that. I always get a kick out of that. Don't mind me.
It's
switch the audio again. Sorry.
Switching the audio again.
Yeah.
Always
How
switching.
about now?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Then you got, Boom Boom, another Jack King one. That, I don't know. Have you seen? Did you watch Boom Boom at all? Do you remember that one? That one's the war one. The whole trope of making war funny.
Can you hear me fine? First off,
I can hear you fine.
Okay. Yeah, it's okay. Stupid tech issues, but anyway, yeah, that one I did see. Boom Boom. That one, see, that's one of the more. Is it? I mean, it's a Porky short, but would you call that a Bean short as well, or just strictly Porky?
It's more Beans. But Porky definitely steals the show. Like he's a prominent side character, and so it's so weird that Porky started more or less as a side character, like a sidekick to Beans, the main star, but then later on he would become the main star, and Daffy would be the sidekick kind of thing, and the dynamic will totally change. So it's very interesting.
It's a circle of life, or cartoons.
Cartoon. It's like Stream now flagged for copyright, because you sung a Disney.
Disney's coming after me.
That's right. It's like the lawyer from The Simpsons. It's like we represent Walt Disney World for the whole happiest place on earth, and because Skinner made his little school fair, fate, whatever you want to call it, saying the happiest place on earth, and it's like, no, Disney owns the trademark to happiest place on earth. And what does Skinner do? He just kicks the crap out of the lawyers.
What was it? Copyright expired, or the trademark expired, something like that.
Oh man! And again, Beans being a brat was only utilized in his debut short. Yeah, more or less. Yeah, and he and it's so weird that I haven't got a hat. You got the characters being certain ways, and yet for some of them, once they transition to normal shorts, they just stay the same. I mean, Oliver L stayed pretty much the same. He was only in a few shorts, and then he ended up being a comic book star, and it was Henry Hawk's friend. So,
I did not know that.
It's like, that's my lunch. Yeah, Gold Diggers 49. I mean, we would watch that and be like, okay, yeah, Tex improves a lot after that, like with speed, timing, and whatever. But man, aside from a few unfortunate stereotypes, that short's hilarious. I think it's great. So much energy to it.
And also, that has an original cue that I love. The wah 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 in Gold Diggers. That's one of my favorite Norman Spencer originals.
Oh, that one's a great one. Just so much energy compared to what had come out just before then. It was really great. With Boom Boom, by the way, guys, that one's in the public domain. That is the earliest Porky Pig in the public domain, so you can definitely check it out. And it's been restored too. And say what you want about it, it actually looks really nice restored. But the thing about Boom Boom is just the ending. Like it's just the whole thing is just so ridiculous. Like at the very end, the general that they're rescuing and Porky Beans are all in the same hospital bed, and like they all look like they're clearly drugged out of their mind, just laying there. It's like it's such a bizarre ending.
They just got a ton of opium and says, "Let's go to town, boys."
Yeah, that's awful. Doesn't Clean Pastures also have stereotypes like Gold Diggers? Well, yeah, but
they do. Pastures. But it's like, here is Gold Diggers, here's Clean Pastures. I mean, you have the brief scene of the Asian stereotypes, and then the gag of them turning into a parody of Amos and Andy in blackface, as opposed to a short where you literally cannot censor around anything.
Yeah, that's the big difference. Although they did try with Africa Squeaks, that one's just the funniest thing that it's like, why bother? Why did you bother with that? And it's on point with Porky as well, so there's that. But
Indeed.
but yeah, with Gold Digger's 49, yeah, you can definitely cut out those bits, and that's that. Like it still works as a cartoon. You're not really missing too much. Um, you just want to show off your hat, didn't you? Just like
Indeed. I was actually talking to a good friend of mine. I don't know if he's watching it, but Joey, if you're listening, how you doing? Yeah, Joey, as
hey,
well as
Joe,
my
Joe,
brother.
Joe.
Oh, Joey, Joe Junior Shabadoo. That's the worst name I've ever heard. Yeah, sorry, I'm just futzing around with this camera. But speaking of the hat, because I do have a hat. Unfortunately, it's not a
Oh,
hat. Oh, Porky's
give me.
first short. Oh, I tip
He's
my
bold.
hat to you, and I do just that because I do have
Yes,
a hat.
yes, McNugget.
But
He is bold.
but this hat, as you can see, keep seeing hat. Keep saying hat. This is from New Era, and like my friend Joey and my brother as well, and we like wearing New Era hats. And I was saying that it's a shame I only bought one of these because these are sold out. I went to the New Era website again, and they still have some Looney Tune hats. They have a Bugs Bunny one that I still haven't gotten. That I need to get ASAP because it's my hat size and it's the last one they have. And yeah, like it going like what I was saying before. We almost never have any Porky Pig merchandise, and I like this one in particular. And there was another point to the story that I forgot, but of course, say it with me.
What's the point of this story?
I like stories because I
There we
forget what
are.
I'm saying halfway through. He is bald. Yes, spoilers. I've been bald for 12 years.
Do you like Porky so much because he's also bold? The secret's
well,
out, folks.
so I will admit to a secret. I also liked Porky when I got older because he has the same birth month as me. I was to say bald, but yeah, like when I started doing research, I found out I Haven't Got a Hat was released March 2nd, 1935. And I was like, oh, cool, it's a birth month. And bonus, he has the same birthday as my nephew. So my nephew's watching, who's also named Carlos. Hi there. Happy belated birthday to my
It's
nephew as well.
Porky. You know what?
He's
You know what they
Porky.
really need to make. You're talking about Porky Pig merchandise that needs to be made. Uh, honestly, the one that has to be made. Let's not let's yeah. It has to be that clamped Porky. You know that one that's on the cover of Porky Pig 101.
Yes,
I
yes.
want that into some sort of a toy. See, I don't buy much, toys as such. Unless it's something
Smart man.
unless it's like ultra collectible or something. Like when I was in Japan, I bought an exclusive Mickey Mouse in kimono from their Disney store when I was over there. Stuff like that I'll buy, some really unique things, but generic toys I don't really bother too much about. I keep like my kids actually got me from when the 2024 Summer Olympics were on. I've got yes, Manny, you got toys. I got the Bugs Bunny. He's supporting the Australian Olympic team. I've kept that one. The kids wanted to surprise me, and I thought, okay, yeah, that's nice.
Of course, it has to be Australia. I'm still in the process of rearranging this, but I have my brother appreciate that. But my Simpsons and you, my Simpsons figures, Radioactive Man, I got for Secret Santa, Vampire Burns. But yeah, I'm still in the process of these are like my Mario, Sonic figures. I got some Pokemon ones lately, and of course my insane this Ghostbuster ones. Yeah, you can tell it's a work in progress. And of course the obscene. Oh, speaking of obscene, I saw my face. The the
Wow.
obscene amount of Ninja Turtle and gray hairs now. But I literally have see that now that you were saying that thing about Porky, so I do have a point to my story. So with well, first off with Ninja Turtles, there's so many different versions of the franchise that I appreciate. Obviously the movies, the original films from the '90s, the multiple cartoons, the comic books, and all that. And I'm pretty open to different interpretations of the turtles. When it comes to Looney Tunes, I'm a stickler. I'm mainly a guy who watches the theatrical shorts. People tell me to watch the Looney Tunes show. I haven't done it yet. Duck Dodgers, Sylvester and Tweety Mysteries. I loved Space Jam as a kid. As an adult, I'm kind of lukewarm about it. The second one was terrible. But something that I wish Warner Brothers would do, and I saw a little bit of it a few years ago with Looney Tunes cartoons, is them leaning more into merchandise, incorporating, like you said, the Clampett Porky. What about the Tashlin Porky? What about the Jones Porky? What about the Freeling Porky, like having merch or stuff based off of that. One of my favorite Looney Tunes shorts or Looney Tunes cartoons, the ones that are on HBO Max. Again, shout out to our buddy Jonathan Graves from This Means Podcast. Hi, Jonathan. Is one of the shorts where Daffy's a magician and he's messing around with Porky, and he puts him underneath the blanket, and every time he pulls the blanket off of Porky, it's a different iteration of Porky. Have you seen that or no? Daffy Magician?
Not that one, no.
Oh, I saw it and I loved it because, you have Bob Bergen doing Porky's voice, and he's like, stop doing this to me. And you hear the Merry Melodies theme song playing in the background. And the first one he does is I Haven't Got a Hat Porky. Puts a blanket on. Then it's Holy Smoke Porky. Then he does it again. And I think it's Case of the Stuttering Pig / Porky Double Trouble. Does it again. And then it turns into, I think, like a Jones version of Porky from the 50s or 60s. And then the last one is Porky from Space Jam before it goes back to like Porky from Looney Tunes cartoons. And I'm like, that is just a huge, and what they did too with the 30s era Porkies is that they actually animated him in a way that looked like film grain was added to his appearance. And I'm just like, chef's kiss.
They've done their homework.
Yeah, and it's just like, why don't we have a Holy Smoke version of Porky as merchandise, or late 30s, early 40s, whatever, him coming out of the drum. Like, it'd be cool to see, because I tell people, like, the Looney Tunes were not made by one person, it's literally a hodgepodge of different directors and animators and writers and whatnot. I mean, really the only consistent thing is the music from Stalin, Franklin, and then obviously Mel Blanc doing the voices. But I love looking at like how Bugs evolved over the years, or Porky, or Daffy, whatever. And that's the stuff that most people don't catch up on unless they're nerds like us.
Of course, exactly. And speaking of, you're mentioning the music part. I mean, you guys, let us know in the comments, because I've been doing those those videos. I did the one on the Blue Ribbon titles, and again, I'm just refreshing your memories again. An hour and a half ago, or no, 2 hours ago, my Mickey Mouse clone videos come out as well. But I definitely want to do one on music, but I want you more featured on it. So should we do a video explaining the different composers, what their, I guess, flavors are, like what they're more known for? I mean, help me out here. I'm gonna do my mode. I can't do mode, but it's like, hey, help me out here.
No, you gotta call me Midge. Hey, help me out here, Midge.
Help me out here, Midge. Like, so I sound like an Aussie mode. So there you go.
So obviously we spoke about this a few weeks ago, and it's something that I really am interested in doing. So obviously, for those of you that don't know, I do everything on this channel. Anthony just throws his name on. No, I'm kidding. It's like I don't know, Matt Groening and Sam Simon and James L. Oh, anyway, but I digress. But yeah, so Anthony, I usually send him his audio on my audio, and then he edits and he does all the cool stuff, and phenomenal job. And he pitched the idea of doing, like the different eras of the main composers. So pretty much, if you want to boil it down, you got Frank Marsalis, Norman Spencer, a little bit of Bernard Brown, obviously Carl Stalling, Milt Franklin, and William Bill Lava. So those are like the main Warner Brothers composers. I mean, you have a little bit of Eugene Podeny and John Seeley with the stock cues, but let's say about those 5 or 6 guys. Marsalis, Spencer, Brown, Stalling, Franklin, Lava, the main Warner Brothers music directors. And obviously there's things that I can talk about more from a musical perspective. I mean, I'm not going to turn it into a freaking dissertation about like, the atonality in the music of William Lava as opposed to the post-romantic, whatever. But like explaining, because, and help me out here, Migs, if I get this wrong, and not to gas myself up, but I think that I'm a pretty good conduit of doing it this way because A, I am a trained musician, but B, I am a Looney Tune lover of pretty much my entire life, and I'm well versed in the history of the studio. I mean, I'm not as good as Daniel Goldmark, but I'm not too bad. And I think I could explain it in a better way musically than you can, but obviously everything else you do a phenomenal job at.
Exactly, because you listen to Carl Starling's cues next to Milt Franklin's cues. They're similar, but there are differences. I don't think I could put that properly into words, because I don't know musical terminology. I mean, I can say the obvious things like Carl Starling. He did a lot of the musical puns. Milt Franklin not as much, and so on. But
I
you
mean,
probably explain more.
that's pretty much exists. I mean, like the main difference between like you said, Stalling and Franklin for most people, Stalling relied more heavily on cues. Milt Franklin wrote more original music. But the big thing with those guys, I guess, a short version of it, is that a lot of their music still remained pretty grounded in traditional tonalities. Pretty much like you listen to music, music that's a major or minor. Major sounds happy, minor sounds sad, and it's like what notes are going to lead you home. Da 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 da. There's no place like home. That note is home, and their music is more inspired by the classical and romantic period, like Mozart, Brahms, Tchaikovsky, composers, Beethoven of that era. Whereas Bill Lava, his music definitely leaned more towards the 20th century in terms of how music is composed. More dissonance, that's like when notes are clashing with each other, more atonal stuff as opposed to, a melody that sounds nice to the ear. It's just more like, wah, wah, but then again, there's a lot of the Bill Lava shorts from 62 until the studio closed that I haven't seen in years. And shouting out our buddy Matt Hunter, he mentioned once, might have been on Facebook or something, about rewatching Chimpanzee, which is a later short from the studio near 1968. And Lava was starting to incorporate rock and roll sounds like that, electric guitars and stuff like that, more of the modern, because, that's the other thing too. It's like I tell people when these, like the 60s shorts were going on, 1965, 64, 66, who was the biggest thing in music at the time? It was the Beatles. It was the British invasion. It was stuff like that. And I always say, like, you got to think of the music in terms of the context of the time it was created. Because when I'm watching a short from the 30s and 40s, who was big? Glenn Miller, crooners like Rudy Valley, Bing Crosby, whatever. And then when the studio closed in 1969, that's when the Beatles were breaking up. So it's like cool also seeing it. And that's why I always say what I love about these cartoons is like they're a history lesson. I mean, you learn about radio from the past. You learn about obviously a lot of stuff about World War II. I learned from watching these shorts. And it's weird because as a kid, I thought, oh, these cartoons were only made about 20, 30 years ago, not realizing that these cartoons now are almost hitting 100. Like the first Looney Tunes short's about to hit 100 years in 2030.
Yep,
And it's
and people
insane to think
still
about
call
it.
me a liar for saying what the years are. Would you believe? It's like no, these are old, guys. These are old. They were not made in the 70s when you were growing up. But but guys, if you want to see that video, I mean, I think that would be a great video, where it could be like a brief overview, and then on Manny's channel, he could even do more in depth on each, you know, composer or something like that.
Camden mentioned Camden. I did not. I didn't see it, and B, I didn't even know there was one. He said that there is a great Raymond Scott documentary. Camden, what streaming service is it on? And yeah, I would eat that up. And yeah, Flickalova returns. He said, so yeah, Carl Stalling and Mill. So Frank Stalling came in 1936, and Franklin came short. I think 36. I don't know the exact time, but pretty much they were there from the get go. And the difference is Stalling wrote the arrangement. So pretty much he saw the cartoon or he got collaboration from the directors. All right, this scene, pretty lady. I'm going to do the lady in red. This character's driving a car in my Mary Oldsmobile. So he compiled the cues together, linked them with original music, so on and so forth. He did it within a week, and he usually wrote it on the piano. And then he gave it to Franklin, who was the orchestrator. So Franklin would see the score that was written on the piano, and he says, okay, this part I want the clarinet to play it. This part I think the trumpet's going to do it. That's what the orchestrator does. It's like delegating these specific parts, the melody here to the trumpets, this low rumbling sound, I'm going to have the cellos and basses play it. And then, since they were collaborators for so many years, the transition in the mid 50s from Stalling to Franklin was pretty seamless.
So now let's get back to Porky. I think.
Yes.
No, but it was a good little diversion. But I mean, the other shorts that came out after Boom Boom, you got Alpine Antiques where Porky had a very brief cameo. As one of the characters in the back, and some have even argued, is that even Porky or just someone that they just put in just as a quick cameo? I don't know, but that one's a weird one as well. But but do you want to know what's a better one? The Blowout.
Oh yes, that is the. I mean, I do like I haven't got a hat. Gold Diggers at 49. It's okay. It's not obviously. I mean, for everything else going on in the studio, it was a breath of fresh air. It's cool to see. Hey, Tex Avery has arrived. But the Blowout. Now you mention it. Another short I used to see a lot on Nickelodeon, and I always loved the Blowout. Definitely the first. You could argue the first really good to great Porky short.
It's amazing. And Beans has a cameo in that one, which just shows, I guess, that his star is fading. Although you had Miss Kitty and some of the other little characters, in the whole bit about them teaching a dog a trick. It was a clever idea where it's like a remote controlled, voice controlled airplane, and they're telling this dog to do a million tricks, tiring the poor thing out while Porky's in that plane. And that was fun. That one is such a ton of fun. And again, later on, sure, they would actually, Tex will actually improve his timing. But man, that's only second short, and
Wait,
wow.
You said the Blowout, right? But you were talking about wait. You're talking about Plain Dippy.
Ah, yes, I'm talking about Plain. Saying it's live as well, so I can't cover it up. All right, I mixed the two up. You know why? Because they came out roughly at the same time, and it's like Blowout. Yeah. Oh well.
Plain Dippy.
It looks like I blew out.
Yes. I think somebody should get fired.
I'm feeling deflated right now. Since I was talking about Plain Dippy, that one, everything I just said, make it for Plain Dippy. As for the Blowout, which has got that beautiful voice, I just like how it has a woman voice actor doing the voice of that the Mad Bomber. Just it's such a great like what was the name? I'm just trying to get her name again.
Where's Keith's book? It's around here.
Martha Wentworth. That's it.
Martha Wentworth. Wait, that's no, sorry. I'm thinking of Margaret. The Wicked Witch. That's Margaret Hamilton. Am I right? From Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Okay.
Martha Wentworth, same voice as in the Sword and the Stone. Madam Mim.
I still haven't seen the Sorcerer and the Stone.
That one, out of all of the Walt's, the films that he was actually there for, he ends up. That was probably one of the weaker ones, but it's still got some amazing stuff, including the Merlin Madam Mim fight. So it's still worth watching. So, but yeah, the Blowout. Even that one. Look, again, what I said about Plain Dippy, I also mean for the Blowout too. Just the energy of it. Not perfect, but I know musically, again, we're going to mention it, right? What's the best part musically about the Blowout, right?
Oh, the entire time you're talking about the Blowout, I'm thinking of, well, actually, the one you're talking about, I wasn't thinking about till now, but I'm thinking of the ending where you hear the music of J.S. Submission again, when I think the cops and Porky are chasing near the end. But oh my God, why am I'm blanking out? Well, he gets the ice cream. He gets the ice cream soda, but I'm trying to remember the melody. But they bum 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 whoop bum. Oh, top 10 moment right there.
A lot of wonderful animation by Bob Clampett in those ones, with like the really cute Porky.
Oh, now okay, it's in my head now. But besides a bum 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 bum, and he puts the penny in his pocket, but it's the fellow with the fiddle. Just the way that Norman Spencer orchestrated or arranged in that cartoon. I mean, obviously, there's a merry melody that came out called "The Fellow with the Fiddle," but the way that it was played there in the Blowout. So you have like this evil J.S. treacherous knave. That's another J.S. Submissionik.
Me, treacherous knave.
Yeah, that's what I call you all the time. But that's like the theme song of the Mad Bomber, J.S. Submissionik, who wrote a lot of music for silent films. Norman Spencer and Carl Stalling use it. So you hear this bum ba dum ba dum bum ba bum 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 ba, and then it goes into Porky, where his theme is the fellow with the fiddle. No, and even as a kid, when I was watching on Nickelodeon, I was like, "There's something about this music that I really, really, really like." That contrast between, that Porky's theme and the Mad Bomber's theme. But yeah, that's definitely probably the first great Porky short right there.
I think so. Yeah, that and playing Dippy. The clearly the because I didn't stuff that up, did I? Nope, not me.
No,
Never.
not at all.
Not at
Oh,
all.
so,
Never.
so Flick of Love wants some music yet. Oh, it's going to rehearsal. Have fun at rehearsal. Don't fall asleep in rehearsal. Not that I've ever done that before. But yeah, one of these days I'll go more into detail about the music. So probably on my own channel. So I don't want to burden Anthony with it any more than I already do.
No. I mean, speaking of a burden, I mean, Westwood, whoa, that's the very last Beans, Miss Kitty, Ham and X short, which I think they saw the writing on the wall where it's like, yeah, those characters aren't taking off, but Porky is the star. And again, Porky is just a side character in that one. It does count. And if you haven't seen it, it's in the public domain. It's just hasn't aged well because of the Native American depictions. But yeah, it's that one's not that great. Like the timing of the gags is just all off. Again, just yeah, not great, not great. I mean, did you see Westwood World, even though the stereotypes were there? Like, was it shown for you?
I never saw Westward Woe until Cartoon Network. Actually, I remember they made actually still have well, not that particular VHS with me right now, but I think it was like 2003, 4, or 2, something like that, when I was recording the cartoons off of Cartoon Network, and they had a rare airing of Westward Woe, and I recorded it. And I think it was computer colorized, but yeah, I saw it. I'm like, and then I did the rewatch because I started watching again under Matt Hunter's suggestion all the shorts in chronological order, and it's taken me so many years to do it. But yeah, when I saw it that one time on Cartoon Network and the other time for my rewatch, and I'm like, all right, anyway, next one. That's how I felt.
Yeah, it was so much of a nothing short, just by the numbers, which is pretty much again a Jack King thing by this point. We've already touched upon playing Dippy. Actually, no, we didn't. Yes, those new to the stream, I did not stuff up. I did not mix the blowout and playing Dippy. Nope, not
My
me.
laundry, it is done.
It is done. Yes, but yeah, just with playing Dippy, yeah, what I said before still counts. I meant playing Dippy, so such a great one. But what's after that one? Because I'm pretty much going by the Porky 101 DVD. I mean, we can cover like a few more of them, and then we can continue on another time. But yeah, Fishtails. Now that one,
Yeah.
that's gonna be a very interesting one to edit. That one, I can understand people's nostalgia, like yourself, for it. It's not, but it's just not good. Like it's another Jack King masterpiece. It's a surreal anti-masterpiece. That's what I call it. It is just as terrible as it is. I can't hate it because it gives me so much joy because of how bad it is. It's like it's so bad it's good short.
That's how I feel about the third Ninja Turtles film. It's so bad, it's good.
And now you can see so bad it's good in 4K.
Indeed, which I already did. It actually looks really good.
But do the costumes look good in 4K?
Oh, awful. Those costumes are awful.
That's blow, Dippy, and plain out. Yep, that's it. Yep. That's how I stuff them up, right? Just mix those two. I always mix those two up. I don't know why.
It happens all the time. And according to Camden, you cannot be a treacherous knave because he uses the metric system, the tools of the devil. Non-demons use rods to the hogshead.
And that's how I likes it.
What do you expect, the Addams Family?
Use rods to the hogshead, and that's how I likes it. Yeah, I can't do
it's
that.
Don King. Sorry, the Carino opinion. Who do you expect? The Addams Family? Donatello with his one-liners. Hey, look, it's Don King. Help, I'm a turtle and I can't get. Oh my god, that film is. I'll still take that movie over the two Michael Bay ones. Those Michael Bay ones, I was irritated watching them.
I saw the 13 Ninja Turtles movie in the theater when it first came out.
So did you and my brother, actually. I never got to see it because I was only 5, but I did have it on VHS growing up. So
honestly, the only thing I remember about it is, of course, they go to Japan. But the only other thing I remember about really is that they do some kind of a dance thing in the beginning.
Oh yeah, the intro with they're dancing to "Can't Stop Rocking" by ZZ Top. That song from ZZ Top, and also Tarzan Boy from Baltimore. Actually, I found out that because of the movie, that song re-entered the charts. You know, oh, I love Tarzan Boy. That's such a good song from the '80s.
Calling fishtails surreal is an insult to surrealism. Is just another poor imitation of Disney. Yeah, I mean, clearly I'm using the word surreal with quotes. Yeah, it's terrible. Okay, I'm sure we can all agree. Fishtails feels like an early '30s Fleischer short gone wrong. Yeah,
I mean, come on. It has one of the greatest line deliveries in Warner Brothers history with the father fish. Say "aw." Every time I hear that line read, I just laugh. It just even when I was little, I'm just like, it's so weird, but I love it.
and you got Porky in the oven, but then there's like no water, so somehow the flames working. It's like, of course, Manny, say it with me.
I hope somebody gets fired for that blunder.
Yeah.
But I will say when the father fish is like he's scaling Porky, pretty much cutting off his sweater, that's disturbing. I'll admit.
Yeah.
Says
it reminded me of Pluto's Judgment Day for some reason. Yeah, a short I'd rather have watched than Fishtails. Pluto's Judgment Day is amazing. I mean, it's got an unfortunate Uncle Tom reference, but aside from that, it's actually a pretty solid. Yeah, it's a pretty solid short actually. It's a bit disturbing though, but yeah, I mean, but Fishtails, yeah, it's an anti-masterpiece. It is something.
Going to defend it.
Someone will defend it, but again, if you grew up with it and you got a soft spot for it, fair enough. But the other one, I think these two go hand in hand. You got Fishtails and then Shanghai Shipmates. Like they seem to complement each other. Like Shanghai Shipmates, there's one scene where the captain is making Porky scrub the deck, and he's just so aggressive to Porky, like kicking his head pushing his head to the ground and whatever. It's like Jack King hated him so much he wanted that in there. It's so mean spirited, that one. Although I like the scene in the middle where the captain's eating all the food, but then no one else is getting the food. Pass around that phone. Such a weird.
And just, I think the weirdest shot. I mean, that whole scene where they're eating with the bone or whatever. But the thing that always I'm like, ugh, is when you have one of the characters, I think it was a dog, that he takes off his hat and it's like he slurps it or whatever the heck he does in order to eat it. And it's just like his facial reaction. I'm like, what the heck did I just watch? But another part of me is like, who animated that? Because it looks so weird.
I want, and it's not very solidly drawn. Like it's not McKimson or anything. Would you think? I mean, it's been a while since I've seen it, and unfortunately, I got to see it again soon. I got to do a redo of that one. Yippee! Yay! So exciting!
I'm too excited.
You can see the excitement in my face for having to redo that one. But one question though: would Porky have successfully continued as a character? Because look, the Jack King shorts aren't that great. But Tex Avery ones were. If Tex Avery did not do those shorts with Porky in them, would Porky have survived as a character? Like, was his character strong enough that if Jack King left and then, of course, another director took over, and if Tex Avery wasn't around, would Porky have survived as a character?
Well, I would say no, but you got to also say who else should get credit for helping was Frank Tashlin. Because that 1936, you had Tashlin, King, and Avery doing Porky shorts. Freeling was only doing Merry Melodies at that point. But got two phenomenal directors and one mediocre one. So
and the thing that people forget is the last Jack King short is Porky's Moving Day.
Boss.
and there's a lot of what was I going to say? Just almost got distracted by a phone call then. But with Porky's moving day, so you had Jack King. They had to finish that off, right? And then he went back to Disney. Taschen took over the unit. But if you wanted proof that it wasn't the crew, it was the director. Look no further than what happened, between King's last Porky short, Porky's moving day, and Taschen's first Porky short, which I don't know. Did you see that? First of all, did you see Porky's Movie Day at all on TV? Because I certainly didn't. I never even heard of it.
Before you say that, yeah, I forgot actually that Freeling took. It's not Freeling. Tashlin took over King's unit, so that's my bad. It was King, Avery, Freeling, and then King left, and then okay, that makes sense. All right, so there was only 3 units, not or what's it? Whatever. Anyway, I'm not going to argue about that. But going back to Porky's Moving Day, yes, that was another one I did see. Now I haven't seen it in a while, but that was another one. It's not a great short. I get it, but I do have that nostalgia for it. And there's something about what's his name? The mover, but Bozo. I forgot his name. It's said in the cartoon. Porky says his name, but I've done that before where I go, okay, boss. I imitate him, but they showed it on Nickelodeon a lot often. But now watching it as an adult, I'm like, is he supposed to be I get the vibe that he's meant to be a stereotype now.
That's what I said when I covered this short a while back. Honestly, look, he's a monkey, right? That's the character.
Yeah,
right? It's
like
and it's a monkey. But the vibes I'm getting is that he's doing a Step and Fetch It type stereotype, sort of like a lazy, okay, boss kind of thing. That's how it comes across. Now, whether that was intentional or not, I don't know. But that's how it came across to me. We did forget Porky's Pet. That's the other Jack King short that he did also just before. And that one is just yet another weird one. Did you watch Porky's Pet?
No, that one I never saw until I think it was the Cartoon Network days. Dopey, that was the name of Porky's coworker.
Yeah, because the funny thing about Porky's Pet, it actually comes across as like the one Donald Duck short where he's manning a train station and he gets like an ostrich that shows up. It's so similar to that. Really weird. So, I was on a frame on Porky's Pet because I was just double checking it, and he goes, "When in Porters, stop at Millar Manor," because Miller is who was one of the writers. He actually came from Porters. That's why you got a thing. Yeah. Calling Jack King a bad director is ignoring the stuff at Disney. Yeah, Camden, that's the thing though. I'm now convinced, and I'm sure our
maybe I'll say like he did not make good stuff at Warner's. I haven't seen any of his Disney output.
He made great stuff at Disney, but he was backed up by a competent, strong story team, and if they had everything worked out on the storyboard perfectly, by the to the beat and whatever, and he just simply copied that like he sort of did here at this studio, then that's probably where that illusion comes from. But even then, he was not the best duck director anyway. But I mean, I prefer more Jack Hanna, but that's just me. But even though the stuff towards the end became very, very safe, the whole Chip and Dale Donald stuff, but I still think he's a better director, but that's just me. But yeah, Donald's Ostrich, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, it's just a similar. It's not the same story. No one's copied that, but it's just remind me of that. I'd rather watch Donald's Ostrich anyway. So, in fact, did Jack King direct Donald's Ostrich? I'm trying to let me find out because that could be saying something. Because he does Ham and X, right?
Yeah.
But the funny thing about Ham and X is that was kind of the spiritual precursor in a way to Huey, Dewey, and Louie, just in terms of the vibe. Jack King directed Donald's Ostrich. There you go. So it looks like he got that idea revisited when he went to Disney. So that makes sense.
If you don't mind, I'll be back in a jiffy.
I'll be back in a jiffy.
So everybody can yell at Anthony about his unbridled hatred of Jack King. I'll be back.
I'll be back in a jiffy. Can I come too? Yeah, that's all. But look, Is the Jack King the worst director? No. That would be the director of Buddy's Day Out. But yeah, it looks like when King went over to Disney, he repeated certain ideas that he tried at Warner's, and then lo and behold, with a better story team at the time at Disney, well, we got better shorts. So there's that. But yeah, but Camden, our mutual friend Essie McPeter, pointed all this out, and looking at it further, it's like, yeah, I can definitely see it. But that's just me. Let's have a look. Let's have a look here. There's right. There was just a weird comment over on the Instagram live, but yeah, I'm not going to read that one out loud. Any questions for me? Like, or do you guys have any topics that I should cover in that general animation history thing? So think about what I did with the Blue Ribbon video, and again, I'm just going to shout out the video, the one that's premiered today about Milton Mouse. I have done one to Patty Freeling that's in the process of being edited, so I think you guys will enjoy that. But is there anything you'd like that you think I should cover that would be good for people who may not be animation obsessives, so to speak, but they might be interested from a historical point of view? I mean, the music idea was that was a good one. I think, to explain to people that, hey, there were different musical creators. I mean, I was also thinking of doing a topic to explain the different units as to who the different units were, what they did, what their highlights were. Explain to people that, yeah, like characters like, say, Bugs Bunny, they, yes, it's one character, but how he was a different character between the different units, something along those lines. So there's no shortage of ideas, but I just want to know what would you guys like to see next? So I'm reading the comments. The Lance United artists could be an idea. I don't want to go too obscure in certain ways, but Walter Lance. Yeah, I don't really have a. I want to do one of Looney Tunes comics with you. Well, that's an idea. Yeah, that's definitely an idea. Definitely for the few more specialized things when I'm doing those videos, I want to have someone who is actually more of an expert than me. So, of course, music with Manny, comics with yourself, Camden. That's not a bad idea. Oh, it's M. Oh, jeez. His face.
Very late dinner.
Very late dinner. Me, I'm just an elephant. I'm gonna have peanuts. I don't know if you guys have seen Duck Soup, where you got Chico saying peanuts.
I really got to watch more of the Marx Brothers stuff.
But yeah, you guys probably don't have this brand.
Not Nobbies?
Yeah. The slogan: Nibble Nobby's nuts. That's real. It's real.
How old am I again? Oh, I'm 38. But grow up, Manny. Grow up.
Hey, I contained myself when you mentioned boobs in the woods. Okay, relax. Calm down. It's like, yeah, boobs. I'm actually watching a lot of the new Beavis and Butthead stuff, and it's just they're amazing. Mike Judge, like he's like wine. He's just amazing. Have you watched Beavis and Butthead, like with the originals, revivals?
I watch the originals here and there. I think I saw Beavis and Butthead do America once, but I barely remember it. The revival I haven't seen, but I've heard very good things about it, which, for a revival is rare. And speaking of revivals, like that reminds me of, like I said, X-Men 97, where people are like, no, this is like a revival done well. And Beavis and Butthead. Those are like probably the only two revivals I could think of animation-wise that people are like, no, this is actually really good.
It's just the same. I mean, the only difference with the new one is that they include old Beavis and old Butthead. they sort of mix up that little bit, so something a little bit different. And instead of just riffing on music videos, they also riff on YouTube videos. So it's the same, but it's new, but it's done so well, and it's just when you were laughing at the childish joke, it's like he said hard, that kind of like they're laughing at everything remotely sexual, yeah. But where were we? But with Jack King, well, he's out the door, but we've also got more text like Porky the Rainmaker. That's a great one. I love the ending of that one where it looks like that it's ended. They pause, and then it goes out of control, and then the cartoon ends. I mean, did you see Porky the Rainmaker? I mean, I'm assuming you would have. I mean, would have you have seen the colorized one of that, or?
Yeah, most likely I saw the computer colorized one. That was one of my favorites growing up. Was Porky the Rainmaker, the with all the effects of like the duck and the chicken, all the different animals. When you hear ha ha ha, when you hear April showers, when the rain finally comes out. Yeah, that was definitely one of my, and they did show that one pretty often on Nickelodeon, but I always liked that one.
But they didn't show the quote-unquote remake, the one without Porky, Sumi. Like, they actually literally do this exact same story again, but with Ben Hardaway, Cal Dalton.
Oh, speaking of directors that everybody loves, and where's our buddy Huey Nelson, my fellow Hardaway Dalton fan club member, because it's only me and him.
That's a big fan club. It's like, who's the president? Like, do you guys have elections, even though there's only two of you?
Throw your vote away. Don't blame me. I voted for Kodos.
That's right. But I think this is a good spot to end with the Porky Pig stuff, because we're ending with the start of Tex Avery. I know we didn't get too in depth into it. That's what the reviews are for, yeah. But Jack King, again, like you could change Porky to Beans in any of those shorts, as far as I'm concerned, and you'd have the same picture. Like there's next to no differences. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, I agree.
Because if you look at the first Beans short, The Cartoonist Nightmare, I remain convinced, and I have no evidence because they probably don't exist, but I remain convinced when you watch these in release order, that started as a buddy short. Because there's nothing in there about promoting Beans as this new character. Whereas the next short, Beans was like, hey, I'm Beans of the Boston Beans. The thing every cool kid says. And then after that, they made more Beans, and then it's like, nah, we're going to make more Porky, and then I think it just changed it from Beans to Porky, and that's it. That's why the last few solo Porky Pig shorts that Jack King did just felt like they were originally going to be for Beans, and then they just changed it out. That's why they feel so weird and different. So,
you know what I think? I think you need some arroz. Oh, that too. You need some arroz arroz con habichuelas con pernil.
Con
pernil. Keep talking about it. That's all I'm thinking about. It's rice and beans. It's P-E-R. So the P-E-R-N-I-L. Pernil. Okay. It's literally pernil. Let me get some pernil over here, Mike.
Let's get some pernil, mate. Come on, mate. Let's get some pernil.
You should have went to the Bad Bunny concert in Sydney and asked for some. Hey, let me get some pernil, Mike. It's roast pig, but roast pig with Puerto Rican rice and beans.
And where's the best meat, Manny?
The best meat's always in the rump. But you talk about pork and beans, and like I said, I'm of Puerto Rican descent and Cuban. I get a little, black rice and beans with some little bits and pieces of bacon.
And it's almost lunchtime for me, so we're talking about
as I'm drinking my.
That's gonna be the intro right there. That's gonna be the intro right there. Just you going,
as I'm drinking, literally, this is kale, spinach, some frozen berries.
No. That's ground up pork, right? That's just
it's pork and beans.
Pork and beans just ground up in a. It's like these are fake teeth. I gotta slurp all my food.
Pretty much.
You go, Pepito. I'm Mexican. For me, is arroz con frijoles. Is that it? Frijoles?
Not bad. No. Frijoles. There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm a
Mexican
master of
Pumphrey Hall.
disguise. I reckon if I go to Mexico, no one will ever pick I'm an Aussie. Yeah, I'll blend
I
in
mean,
so
come on.
well. They'll be like,
It's just like, if I go over there, I'm like, hey, I'm trying to look for an apartment. Apartment? Yeah, I got to get something out of the trunk of my car. Trunk?
my hands are real dirty. I got to use the faucet. Faucet?
So there's this British guy that I
It's
keep seeing
tap.
on YouTube.
For those who aren't aware, tap is
Yes.
yeah.
He's like a very prim, proper British gentleman, and he's big on etiquette. And he did a video, and I was gonna send it to you. I mean, like I said, he's British, but it's like, and he goes like this. Oh, this little device over here. It is not the faucet. And I'm like, oh, how dare you insult my accent? The tap. This isn't the parking lot. This is the car park. And I'm like, Anthony taught me what a car park is. We parked.
So I thought car park was just a normal thing, but parking lot, it's like, or like we say shopping center. You guys say shopping mall.
No, you said it wrong. It's shopping mall. You gotta go to the mall over there.
Shopping mall over there.
Get some coffee.
Go get some coffee and donuts.
Get some Starbucks. Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts over here.
Jelly donut over there.
Here's a topic for a video. Who is the real man of 1,000 voices? Spoiler alert, it's Manny Cruz.
Here's my first voice. Here's my second voice. My third one.
Now we'll just put the footage of Krusty going to the recording booth. We'll just do that. Sideshow
Mel. Greatest line delivery ever. Yeah, kids, learn from the professionals.
Bada bing, bada boom. Hey, learn from the professional, kid. Okay, Krusty, we're ready to record now. What the?
Or in my rare reference to the show, because I like the first few seasons, but for me, it petered out, pun intended, pretty quickly. Family Guy, and he says, I can name all the capitals in one shot. Oh, that's me doing all the 1,000 voices. You just yelped.
Oh yeah. And don't worry, real random lad. We'll continue covering Porky. There's so many Porky shorts. Yeah, we're going to cover all of them eventually. Milk and Money, Village, Smithy. That will come. That will definitely come. But Stephen Holloway actually.
You bring the frijoles, and I'll bring the habichuelas, and we'll enjoy it with the pork.
I'll bring the beer. You bring the coffee. So there we are.
Beer.
Maybe consider talk about the lesser known directors that did Looney Tunes shorts in a possible video idea. Yeah. That's not bad. Like, I can start off with saying, the main three names you might have seen are, Freeling, Jones, McKimpson, and then go on from there. It writes itself.
Indeed.
So to wrap it up, we're going to play this one more time for those that missed it. Sorry, Manny. We're going to have to do it one more time. We have to do it one more time. Sorry, because of your birthday, we're going to do it one more time. We're going to play it again. It's going to show up in a sec.
I think I'm going to get even more great.
Okay, fellas, take it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear
Emmanuel Cruz, the puny tenor.
Happy birthday.
Why did I send you such a crappy clip? I should know better by now.
Yes, you should, but you don't. Okay?
I don't learn from my mistakes.
But one person actually did ask earlier on, who did the voice of Bugsy? Because of course Mel Blanc passed away, and it's clearly not him. You can hear it, but I wonder who would have done that one. That's a very good question, because they had a few different people, vying for the role. They had different, that there's Noel Blanc. I don't know if it's Noel or there's Jeff Bergman. There's who else would it be at that time?
I think he did. Again, assuming because it was an Aussie. Well, I don't know if this video was released internationally.
It's not Keith Scott. I'm sure it's not.
I was going to say, was it Keith?
I know Keith Scott did voices for Australian KFC commercials and stuff that involved Looney Tunes, where he would do a little Foghorn Leghorn, son. He would do that. Seamless edit. Yep, I'm all about the details.
The Oscars are coming up, so get ready.
Damn right. Imagine that. It's like the this award is the biggest farce. Like, actually, now I just remind myself, I was actually going to originally try and do something relating to, it's the first annual Montgomery Burns Award for, that whole thing. Like it was going to be something like that. Like, it's the
Yeah.
first annual
Annual
Emmanuel Cruz Award
cruise
for,
or excellence in I don't know, in musical time trivia. I don't know, some crap like
don't give up your day job, whatever that is. Like,
that.
but no, we watched that clip and, oh man. While I don't have a problem with the newer Simpsons because they do make me laugh still, I actually do like them, but they can't hold a candle to the original stuff. And that one scene just kills me the way it's like, okay, Homer could potentially sue the power plant for millions because he's now sterile. He cannot have any more kids. But they just put an offer of cash similar like $2,000, like something very small. And Homer's like, so do I get a awards ceremony? Do I get a trophy? And you see the blue head lawyer next to him, like going, and and now that I know you as a magician, we actually did a little thought exercise with that whole Homer Simpson studio. How much would it have cost Homer to actually create such a musical session? You said it would be like $30,000 doing the whole
No,
Big
actually,
Mac jingle.
now, well, I was going to say it depends on rent. I was going to say 30,000, but depending on the caliber of musicians you hire, how long you have to record, just let's say like you get a high quality group. The
So
studio, I
minimum
don't know how long.
30K.
Let's say
Maybe
minimum 30,000. If you're gonna, I mean,
realistically,
I'm probably
what?
way off, but
Maybe like
but
50. I
yeah.
would like to see. There you go. That could be your channel, breaking down, unnecessarily breaking down musical gags in The Simpsons. Like that. That could be a really interesting niche where you just focus on the musical elements.
And of course it contains one of the greatest things in Simpsons history, the introduction of Lomer.
Lomer. That's right. So I'm looking at this whole event that Burns creates, with the Springfield Soft Shoe Society doing the dancing. I'm thinking, gee, how much would it have cost to not, pay for all these dancers, pay for the musicians in the music pit? Like, how much would that have cost? So he was like, I think Mr. Burns realized, maybe it would have been cheaper just to give Homer maybe some more money and, and shut him up. They create this whole. They have to hire the venue for many thousands of dollars. All these people in the crowd, they would have to be invited, and the staff and the. I'm overthinking it, I know, but it's just fun. That's how I pass the time. I'm a sad, lonely man. Clearly,
Yeah. Cartoons have ruined my life. I'm 38
30.
years old.
40 years
Homer,
old.
you're drooling on the mic again.
Yes.
I
Manny,
love
drooling
that
on the
part.
If I knew how to animate, take footage and I get like, I don't know, your head or my head or whatever, just to follow like a tracking on a certain element, which I think I can do in Final Cut Pro. I would
Oh,
I would
God.
get the Big Mac thing and put your head on it, is it like you're singing it? That's for your next birthday. That's for
Oh,
your next
thank you.
birthday.
You got 364 days to get it completed, and even better, just literally, you can just literally put my head over Lomer, and I'll be the happiest man in the world.
That could be that could be on a T-shirt,
Yeah.
What would that be called? Like you said, Lomer. It's Low man. Low
Manny,
man.
Low
Low
Manny,
man. Low man.
Low Man, Low Man.
Low
We'll
cruise.
work on it. Low Cruise.
We'll work on it. Again, we got
Low Tenor.
360 something days to figure that one out, don't we?
Yeah, let's wood shop some names before we broadcast it to the public.
100%. I think we'll leave it here, but what topic should we cover for our next one? I want to finalize it now with our audience giving us a bit of maybe a bit of guidance. Should we continue our little journey when it comes to the whole Bugs Bunny and drag thing, or actually, here's another one we wrote down. Watching cartoons in US versus Australia growing up, because we both grew up in similar time frames.
Yeah.
So we could maybe talk about that. Like what shows were on, the showing cartoons. I can talk about what Saturday mornings were kind of like in Australia as well.
Mm-hmm.
Should we do that,
Yeah,
guys? Yeah, I think so.
we may not look it, but I'm actually younger than Anthony, although I don't look it. But
In
yeah,
the words of Cecil Turtle, clean living, friend. Just
clean living,
clean
friend.
living. Just
Clean living.
clean living, friend. Clean living. There you go.
But and now my question is, because I mean, obviously we could talk about where we saw Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies, but would it be exclusively to that, or we could talk about like just cartoons in general?
Cartoons in general. I think cartoons in general. Yeah, we can tweak it a little bit with the Looney Tunes, but I reckon in general, because I need to, yes, maybe complete Bugs and Drags first. We'll get to it. We want to do more of these. Okay, there'll be plenty of them. So in like a fortnight or whatever, that's 2 weeks. Because again, remember I had to change all my thumbnails for people. All that sort of stuff. 2 weeks, 1 fortnight, 2 weeks. Yeah. The Bugs Bunny show on Channel 9 and 90s here in Australia. Yes, I will definitely mention that.
Now I have a question now, because I see that we say Channel 9 in Australia. Is that a national network that it was 9 throughout the whole country? Okay,
yes.
See, that's different from us, because, for example, the big three, ABC, CBS, and NBC, we knew the letters, but for me, growing up in, like I said, born and raised in New Jersey, but I live near New York City. So I had all the broadcasts from there. I think that's the flagship station, like the New York and the Los Angeles ones. So for me, our CBS affiliate, our flagship station was Channel 2, still is. NBC's Channel 4, and Channel 7 is ABC. And then prior to 1986, Channel 5 for us here in New York was an independent station. It was WNYW, then WNEW, the call letters. That became the Fox affiliate. So for me, The Simpsons, I always watched it on Fox 5. Tiny Toons, I watched on Fox 5. Power Rangers, Batman the Animated Series but we don't call it by the channel number. We call it by I saw it on ABC. I mean, people in this area, Channel 2 CBS, Channel 7's this or whatever. But for us, we would say, I saw it on ABC or NBC. Because again,
for us, it's all numbers. It's all numbers. We'll definitely get into it into the stream, but just briefly, I'll mention our channels are basically Channel 2, which, funnily enough, is ABC, but it's Australian Broadcasting Company. Channel 7, Channel 9, Channel 10. Channel 10 is sort of a little bit newer. That's the big one for The Simpsons, by the way. And I will mention that as when we get to it. We then have SBS, which I'm trying to remember. I think it was Channel 28. I think that was the number. There's really not numbers anymore, because it's all I just use streaming. And the community station, Channel 31. There are regional variants to a lot of these channels.
Sounds like Pokemon.
Yeah, but generally speaking, it's just those main channels, and then we finally got cable TV in the mid-90s, and the rest is history. So there's that. But I reckon we do that next. The next one will be about our experiences growing up watching, crap on TV. Yeah, be fun. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you watch that Milton Mouse video. Let me know what you think, because I really want to do more videos like that. And the next one after that will be the Patty Freeling video. And yes, I am still working on the After Looney Tunes Bob McKimson video. So plenty of stuff coming.
I do, because you're doing Milton Mouse. I was like, the next one is going to be Dinner Dog.
Dinner Dog. Speaking of dinner, well, actually lunch, I've got to go and eat. All right, guys.
That's my dinner.
Toodaloo. Bye.
Toodles, thank you for the birthday wishes. Bye.